the P block element, and topic is sulfur. So dear students, sulfur is also important thing in our life. Okay, it's come from onion, it's come from garlics, and this is the basic talk about the sulfur. And sulfur is very useful into the point view of the skin disease. So that's why we have to talk a lot about the sulfur. First, we will talk about sulfur and its allotropes. So, sulfur forms numerous allotropes, of which the yellow, that is the rhombic sulfur or the alpha sulfur, and monoclinic sulfur is the beta sulfur forms are the most important. The stable form of at room temperature is rhombic sulfur, which is the monoclinic sulfur when heated above 369 Kelvin temperature. That means if it is remain below 369 Kelvin temperature, it is called as the rhombic monoclinic sulfur, and above 3 is the rhombic sulfur. So this is our topic of the sulfur. Now we are going to talk about the alpha sulfur, that is the rhombic sulfur. This allotrope is yellow in color, melting point 385 Kelvin, and specific gravity is 2.06. Rhombic sulfur crystals are formed on the evaporating the solution of roll sulfur. Roll sulfur means our skit hoy આવી રીતે આવા skit hoy, that means like needles. So these are known as no roll of the sulfur. It is insoluble in the water but dissolves in alcohol and ether. So this is the sulfur. It is soluble in benzene, alcohol, and it is readily soluble in CH2, but very soluble in. So this is the topic of the sulfur. Okay. After that getting, let's move on the other thing, monoclinic sulfur. Monoclinic sulfur is also known as beta sulfur. Its melting point is 393 Kelvin and its specific gravity is 1.98. It is soluble in CH2 as well. Both sulfur are rhombic or monoclinic. Both are the soluble in the CH2. This form of sulfur is prepared by melting rhombic sulfur in a dish and cooling till crust is formed. Two holes are made in the crust and the remaining liquid poured out on the revolving the crust. જો એક થાળી લેવાની, થાળીમાં આપણે જે રીતે પેલું પાપડી બનાવીએ ને, સોન પાપડી બનાવીએ છે, ચીક્કી બનાવીએ છે, પછી એનો કેવો રસ અંદર જે ગોળવાળું લિક્વિડ હોય નાખી દે અને પાથરી દઈએ, બસ એવી રીતે આને પણ પાથરી દેવાનું છે. પછી પથરાઈ ગયા પછી ઉપરનું લેયર જે સુકાવા લાગે એ મોનોક્લિનિક સલ્ફર હોય છે. તો અંદર બચેલું સલ્ફરને કાઢી નાખવા માટે અંદર કાણા પાડવાના, પછી એને રોલ કરીને કાઢી નાખ્યું એટલે જે અંદરનું જે સલ્ફર છે નીકળી જાય છે. That is the topic. Okay. On revolving the crushed colorless needle shaped crystal sulfur are formed. Here it is needle. Okay. If it is stable above 396 Kelvin and transform in sulfur below it, so that is the transition temperature. Which is the transition temperature? The transition temperature is 369. 369 above monoclinic and 369 below is sulfur. Conversely, alpha sulfur is stable below 369 Kelvin and transfer into the beta sulfur above this. At 369 Kelvin, both the forms are stable. This temperature is called as transition temperature. So this point you have to remember, okay, what is the transition temperature and what is that? Okay, and monoclinic sulfur have S8 molecules. Now this is the interesting. Sulfur is having 30 talenten, so it can remain in S element also, only S. It can remain S2, it can remain S6 and S8, it can remain S20. So lots of things we can talk about the sulfur. These S8 molecules are packed to give the structures. હવે આ S8 molecules છે એના પણ અલગ અલગ જાતની ડિઝાઇન હોય છે. ઓકે, the S8 ring in both the forms of is puckered and has a crown shape. એ લોકો પોતાની જાતને કેવી રીતે ક્રાઉન શેપમાં અરેન્જ કરે છે. The molecular dimensions are given in figure. તો અહીં ફિગર છે, એ ફિગર છે, you can see that કે this is the S8 molecule. You can count here કે કેટલા molecules થાય છે. See, this is the first, second, third, fourth, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total 8 molecules. So these are the crown structures. Look like crown. So that's why it is known as crown. Now we will count here also. Okay, અહીંયા કેટલા છે? So this is the first, this is second, this is third, this is four, this is 5, this is 6. So here total 6 atoms are there. So this will be also interesting topic about the sulfur. Several other modification of the sulfur containing sulfur, as I told you previously, sulfur atom per ring have been synthesized in the last 2 decades. In cyclo S6, the ring adopts the chair form and the molecular dimensions are as shown in figure B. See here, so it look like chair. અગર તમે એને ધ્યાનથી જો, so this is look like chair. આમ થયું. Okay, then this is here અને આ ખુરશી બની ગઈ. So that's why this structure is known as chair structure. Okay, so at evaluated temperature 1000 Kelvin, that is S2 is dominated species and it's behaving like a oxygen. It is paramagnetic. તો 100,000 Kelvin temperature ની ઉપર તમે જ્યારે ગરમ કરો છો ત્યારે એ બની જાય છે S2 અને એની બિહેવિયર કોના જેવું છે? એનું ઓક્સિજન જેવું છે, and it is paramagnetic. Paramagnetic હોવું even નંબરમાં is we have discussed in previous video. So hope that you understand about the structure of the sulfur. Now we are going to talk about some physical and chemical properties of compound of the sulfur. So in compound of the sulfur, first we are going to talk about sulfur dioxide. Okay, sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide is prepared in laboratory in following ways. That's why first we are going to talk about the preparation of sulfur dioxide. Sulfur dioxide is formed together with a little 6 to 8% sulfur dioxide when sulfur is burned into air oxygen. Oxygen સાથે reaction કરીને sulfur dioxide માં convert થાય છે. And here you remember that when sulfur is converted into sulfur dioxide, some amount 6 to 8% sulfur dioxide is also produced. So S plus O2, that's give SO2. This is the reaction, and maybe this will be the interesting reaction. In the laboratory, it is readily generated by the creating a sulfide with dilute sulfuric acid. તો સલ્ફ્યુરિક એસિડ એટલે 2H પ્લસ એના સાથે આપણે કોઈ પણ સલ્ફાઇડને રિએક્ટ કરાવીએ તો that will give you straight away sulfur dioxide and water. This is very simple reactions. These are the all things you have to watch out, you can remember. Okay, now industrially it is prepared. Now this is the top, prepared by a product of a roasting of sulfide ores. હવે સલ્ફાઇડ ઓર્સ છે આપણા પાસે, પાયરાઇડ છે, પછી પીબીએસ છે, ગેલેના છે, બ્લેન્ડ છે. તો આ બધાને આપણે ઓક્સિજનના પ્રેઝન્ટમાં જોરદાર હીટ કરીએ, રોસ્ટ કરીએ, તો they will convert into the oxide, and as a byproduct we are getting sulfur dioxide, and this will be the great phenomenon. Here when we will talk about the metallurgy, and in metallurgy we have to also talk about the preparation of oxide. sulfide or the oxide માં convert કરવાનું છે. So this is the prior idea of us that FeS plus 11, FeS ની જગ્યા પર PbS લઈ શકાય, ZnS લઈ શકાય. So these are our idea કે sulfide ore is heated, okay, at high temperature to get the sulfur dioxide. So I hope that preparation of the sulfur dioxide. Now in next case we are going to talk about the properties of sulfur dioxide. So sulfur dioxide with the pungent smell and is highly soluble in water, and that sulfur dioxide is highly soluble in the water and produce sulfurous acid at room temperature. Very important. It is liquefied at room temperature under a pressure of 2 atmosphere at 260 Kelvin. Okay, this now we are looking more forward. about the okay.